So let's look a little bit more closely at damage from a hurricane. Look at these houses back here behind me. This is on the coast of Florida, and they're right on the water. We're talking a couple $1 million worth of real estate right here in this picture in this spot alone. And you'll notice there's the Gulf of Mexico. That's where the hurricanes come from. And there's nothing to stop the hurricanes when they come to this point. These houses aren't high enough off the ground to be out of the storm surge. There is absolutely nothing to block the wind. So if a hurricane comes, these houses here are going to be in really, really big trouble and probably be damaged and lost. So now that begs the question, what can you do in order to prevent or lessen damage from a hurricane and keep you from losing your multi-million-dollar worth of house? So let's take a look at this house here behind me. And it is in a hurricane zone. It's right on the coast of Florida. And let's see what was done differently here that helps protect this house from hurricane damage. Now, this is part of the Gulf of Mexico here. But you'll notice what they did was that they left a row of trees, these mangroves, these plants between the house itself and the Gulf of Mexico, which is over there. And what this does is when the hurricane comes ashore and the storm surge tries to come through these trees, it kind of slows down a little bit. And slower water is a lot less likely to knock down that house than faster water. Plus, this is a really big area back there, and it can soak up and hold a lot of extra storm surge water. So, one of the things that can be done to help prevent loss or damage from a hurricane, especially from the storm surge, is to leave coastal wetlands. Leave plants along the shore so that that storm surge kind of slows down or gets caught up in it and therefore doesn't hit the houses. Back there's the ocean. And if I have a hurricane come ashore right here, you can see the ground is very flat. And we're going to get a lot of water blown onto this ground from that storm surge from a hurricane. And remember, the storm surge is the most damaging and destructive part of a hurricane. So what do you do if you have a house or you have a town and it's along the coast? You need something to help protect your location from that damaging storm surge from a hurricane. Luckily, one of the best and most effective ways to help lessen the damage from storm surge is actually natural. If you've ever been to the beach, you've probably noticed there's a lot of these sand dunes that are just beyond the end of the beach, and that's because the ocean pushes the sand around, the wind blows it around, and it tends to pile up. Now, these sand dunes are natural, and what they do for us is when the water from a storm surge comes ashore, it hits this sand dune, and it kind of acts as like a wall and makes it stop. Now, sometimes the water can go over the top of these sand dunes or it can come around, but in either case, the water has to slow down a little bit, and that means the storm surge is not nearly as powerful and won't cause as much damage. So, sand dunes are very important as a way to help lessen the damage from storm surge. The problem is, in a lot of locations, we have cut these sand dunes down and we've built buildings and towns and homes and condos right up against the beach. Now we know better. So sand dunes must be left in place and they cannot be disturbed because they are the first line of defense to help protect from storm surge damage due to a hurricane.